What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Megabyte Bros podcast. It's been a few weeks. I have been having a hard time figuring out how to get this to work with my schedule working graveyard, and my brother's been doing school during the day. But we're back. We're official. Let's do this.
Yeah.
Yay.
So funny thing about our last podcast, we played Mega Man 11, the demo, right, and the Legacy Collection for a little bit, or 9, Mega Man 9, I mean. Capcom copyrighted it. We got a copyright strike, so we are official.
Yeah, we can do YouTube stuff now.
So... yeah.
Can we just skip the cutscenes? Is that like an option?
I don't know. Maybe the beginning of the game wasn't the best option. Because it's super story heavy. Anyways, so we're going to be playing some Spider-Man PS4. So that'll be something fun to look at in the background. Anyways, let's begin with what we're playing, and I've been playing a lot of Spider-Man PS4. Jacob's played it a little bit, so we'll be able to talk about that and let you guys know what we think about it. And Joseph's still playing
Have you played it at
Quest
all?
9.
Have you played Spider-Man at all, Joseph? Not yet.
Or 11.
No, I haven't played Spider-Man yet.
I just woke up, sorry.
I've also, Dragon Quest 11 is going to take some time. It's Persona 5 levels long.
I like that.
Really?
Good.
So, on the side, I've also been playing Yokai Watch Blasters, because I'm 11 years old. And it's a fun little game. I like Yokai. They're Japanese mythology stuff. I don't know. It's fun. It's just a dooky little game.
I better scan some pigeons to make sure.
What have you been playing?
This week, last weekend, about, exactly a week ago, started playing Undertale for the first time. And I didn't really have any expectations going into it. Like, I hear a lot of people say it's the best thing ever, and then a lot of people just hate it because it's overhyped or whatever.
I'm one of those people.
I didn't really have anything going into it because I just heard so many mixed things about it. But I really, really liked it. Like, I guess it's just because I didn't have those expectations that I ended up just... I don't know, I just think it's really good. Like, I can tell why everyone likes it. Like, I guess I don't like it as much as those other people. Like, I wouldn't call it an experience or anything, but it was fun, and definitely had a good story, and fun elements to it. So, yeah, I beat that in, 2 or 3 days.
So I've been playing a lot of Spider-Man PS4. I haven't beat it. I think I still got a lot to go.
Where am I going?
I think I'm at 65, 64% complete. Maybe a little bit more. I haven't checked in a couple playthroughs, or not a couple playthroughs, a couple sessions. But, yeah. So, Spider-Man PS4 is an amazing game. Everybody I kind of called it out that it's probably going to be an amazing game. Got great reviews. I don't have any...
What the heck?
It's probably underneath.
Yeah, let's...
Probably a tunnel or something. Yeah, there you go. I can talk to what is good and what I like about a lot and what I don't like about it.
Alright, here we
So what's good about it is it nails the feel of Spider-Man. It nails his characterization.
I don't know what I'm doing. Okay, no.
Sweetly caress the people on the sidewalk.
I'm stuck.
Yeah,
Okay.
I won't play.
No, I want to play
Oh, okay. So I really like, the story, characterization of Spider-Man. They've really nailed him. I like, obviously, any real good Spider-Man game has like all of his different suits that you can unlock. And this one has a bunch. I haven't unlocked all of them yet. I haven't seen all of them yet.
Nope.
I don't consider it a spoiler to see suits that you haven't unlocked yet, but I do want to like be surprised a little bit at least. So I haven't like tried to go and see all of the suits, but this suit is, I think, the one that does an electrical shock whenever you punch somebody, if I'm correct. I really like the look of this suit. My favorite suit still so far is, and this is kind of cheating, but the Stark suit, the one that Spider-Man from Spider-Man Homecoming has. I don't know. It just looks and fits so perfectly with this Spider-Man. I did just unlock the Infinity War suit in the game, and I've been using that a lot too because I like that one a lot too. And it helps that the Stark suit has the best power up, or the best suit power. Suit powers are an awesome addition to the game too. Like, each suit that you unlock has a different power that it can do.
What the freak is this
Some
thing?
of them are...
It's a police department.
Yeah, you're at the police department. You're on a satellite dish that spies on everybody.
Well, I'm trying to find it, like, the whole...
It's probably...
Like, I came here, and then it just disappeared. Like, apparently I'm... Alright, I'll just go a little bit of ways.
Some of the suit powers are super useful. Some of them are just kind of... Oh, it's just a place that you can go to. Just because it says fast travel.
Alright, so now we have...
And there's the Avengers Tower. There's some awesome Marvel Easter eggs in the game. You can find Doctor Strange's house? Sanctum, there you go.
I forget how to play this.
You can find the Wakandan embassy. There's a couple that I found. And you know it's a legit Marvel product if Stan Lee is in it. And Stan Lee is in the game. So it's an official, legit Marvel product.
How do I turn on camera mode? It's been like 2 or 3 weeks.
It's down? Or up? On the D-pad? Oh, like... press start.
There it
You can
is.
just go to photo mode like that, but I don't know why it's not letting you go into the camera.
Don't you have to be in the air?
No. This is weird.
You broke your game already.
Well,
So,
whatever.
let's see. Some of the things that I don't like, it's just more kind of the, what do you call it? The trappings, or the I can't think of the word right now. The gameplay elements that every open world game has that developers just use because they know it kind of works. You have towers that you can unlock in the game that help unlock the map and let you can still explore the map, which I like, but it doesn't lock off an area if you don't have the map scanned or whatever. But you still have to go to use the it uses the the Ubisoft Tower gameplay thing where you have to go to a place and do something, and then it unlocks part of the map. Like I said, you don't unlock the map, it just lets you see all the details and stuff and all the collectibles which makes it a little bit more bearable. Because I hate in open world games when you have to do those to unlock more of the map, and you can't proceed any further, or they kind of make you not go as far into the unknown part of the map. But it's a happy medium. You can still do whatever you want when you play the game. If you haven't unlocked the towers and done everything, you can still go anywhere in New York City and have fun. But if you want to know where all the collectibles are and all the challenges and bases and stuff are, you use the towers to do that, which is okay. And usually, and what I did with this game, just to get it out of the way, I did everything in did all the towers in an hour. So that way it was just over with and done. So now I'm just enjoying the game.
I did that too.
There's really not much I don't like about the game. It does a lot of things right. There are some things that I still think could maybe be tweaked or improved a little bit for a sequel, which I'm sure got greenlit immediately after release because it's the fastest selling Sony exclusive ever.
Ever? I thought it was just like PS4.
I think it's the fastest selling PlayStation exclusive ever.
Dang.
If I'm correct, but I might be wrong. It might be the PS4 exclusive. Fastest selling PS4
Either way, it's
exclusive.
impressive.
Yeah.
I think just in the UK it sold 3.3 million units in the first day.
UK. I think number 1 was Spider-Man, and then somewhere near the top, number 7, was Crash Bandicoot still.
So, some things they could probably improve on, even though the swinging is awesome and it feels great, you have a hard time being precise with it sometimes. This is Jacob's save, and he hasn't really gotten there to that point yet, but they have challenge tokens later on that you can use you have different tokens that you can get, like the base tokens, the backpack tokens, the landmark tokens, and one of them later on in the game, it's not too far away from where he's at actually, is the challenge tokens. And some of the challenge tokens have you be as fast as possible, go to a point as fast as possible, and another one is you have to follow a drone and follow its path, and then it drops off little orbs that you have to go to. And the drone is really fast and moves and zips around the city. And again, you can be super fast with the swinging and it's really fun to do. It's so intuitive and it just works. It only takes you a second. Well, I won't say a second. It takes you 5 minutes to kind of get to grips with it. When you first start playing the game, you're okay, wait, so do I do this or this? But then after 5 or 10 minutes, you can already be pretty efficient with it. And I think it's awesome that there's a big skill gap between people that just can swing and zip around and have fun, and the people that can. The stuff that you can do in the challenge modes that I've watched is crazy, the people that can do it, but it is a little hard to get there. There's a big skill gap. Or I should say skill ceiling, maybe. And combat is really fun. It's really good. You can unlock certain things that can make you obviously more powerful, have more moves and stuff like that. My biggest complaint is that it can feel a little bit cheap. There will be times where I know I dodged, but because
serious.
I didn't dodge at the perfect time when things were blue, I still end up getting hit by a rocket and somebody punched me because I I dodge because somebody's trying to punch me, and then a dude will fire a rocket like 3 seconds later, and while he's doing the like dodge animation for the punch, he still gets hit by the rocket launcher, and rocket launchers take off like half of your health.
Oh, you know what I freaking hate? Like those big thug dudes.
Oh yeah, those guys are a pain in the butt.
Like, they're not stronger than Spider-Man. Don't even...
According to lore, like, Spider-Man can, like, punch a rhino off of a building or something like that.
And these guys like can take Spider-Man's punches, like, no problem.
But, yeah. This suit is the negative suit. I haven't played with this one much. I've seen a bunch of people play with it, though. It looks pretty awesome. You look like you've done everything, so you need to do story to continue.
That's what I've been doing in this game. I'm just like, story, no. I'm just gonna do...
That's you. Oh, I had something else I was gonna say. Yeah, like, I love the feel of flying and zipping around with your webbing, and you can get really good at it at a certain point and just get to where you want quickly, but again, there's still some precisiveness that gets lost in it. Like, you kind of have... If you want to get to point A to point B, there will be times where you're like, I'm going to do this! And then it just kind of falls short because maybe there's not a tall enough building and nearby, so like you end up having to do a little bit of running on a building for 5 seconds or something. But after all, at the end of the day, it's still super fun, and I think that Insomniac nailed it. But I do think that when they work on the sequel, they still have stuff that they can do that's a little better, to make things a little bit better.
It's sand up here.
You've gotten all the backpacks.
All of them?
Yep.
Well, that's cool. No, there's like some little... What's her name? The cat person. Like, I still haven't gotten all of those. Where are they?
Probably have to play more of the story to unlock more of them.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it looks like that's where you're at. I don't even know where your story thing is. Oh, it's that blue one. You have to do the side mission, probably.
Oh, yeah, it's... Oh, wait, yeah. I think I'm in, like, the middle of, like, a side quest or something.
Do you have anything you want to add about it, Jacob?
It's a good game. I'm not, like, super into, like... Or not into, like, I have a hard time finding fault with video games. Unless I just, like, really hate it. This game is fun. Like, I wouldn't say it's, like, as good as other people say it is. Like, 9 out of 10, stuff like that. Like, it's fun. I played, like, 10 hours the first 2 days, which is rare for me, but... honestly, I don't know how far I am in the story since I've just been collecting things, but that's maybe my one complaint, is that I just want to collect things and the story's kind of holding me back. Scan. Oh, okay.
I did it.
I did it.
Zombie pigeons.
No zombie. What am I doing?
Oh, there you go. It's research. Have you done all the research things?
Not yet. There's still nothing. Oh wait, there's a little, whatever.
The Tesla fed pigeons here. So did Harry's mom.
I haven't got all the pigeons too, have I?
Yes.
I don't think there's... It's a thing, it's research. That was research, okay. There you go, dinner date. Story.
Oh yeah, the dinner date.
That's one thing that, like,
what the heck is that?
you'll either love or hate about the game, is that
Oh, they're back!
they do lock off certain things behind story events. I think it's okay. You kind of want to... They have a lot of unlockable skills, and you kind of and they level Spider-Man can level up. So you kind of want to have stuff for players to do that as challenging for them at the end of the game.
Demons.
Hey.
They've got more explosives. I'll get the lay of the land from the bomb squad. What's the situation,
Oh, you got
officer?
another crime thing. That's cool.
By the demons. Disable the primary device. Use the arming key to kill the secondary.
Oh,
Giddy up.
yeah. That was one thing I wanted. We talked a little bit about the enemy cheapness, but some of the demon enemies are stupid. There's guys with like. After a while, you kind of like get a handle on how to deal with like crowds and stuff. You can throw like a spider bomb or a web bomb, and that will mostly incapacitate everybody, so that you can start picking them off one by one. But the demons later on, there's guys that get like whips that can just block everything. There's guys with swords that can block everything, and the only thing that you can do with them is just dodge and then attack them. So then it becomes like a real big thing of like, okay, how do I handle two dudes with whips, a dude with the sword, and a rocket launcher guy? And there's some fun in that, but at the same time, like, I think that it would help if
Oh, there we go.
the game let you decide how to deal with everything instead of saying, "Oh, this guy, you have to do this." But the suit powers come into play with that. So I mentioned earlier that the Stark suit, Spider-Man suit, is like the best one, and I think.
What the heck?
I think you need to go back and use that other one, that three-pronged one. There you go. Down there.
Down here?
Yeah, maybe.
Dang it, what the freak?
So rotate it. There you go. Or just...
Oh, yeah, that sounds good. Not at all. Oh, whoops.
So, it's not like a deal breaker, but it just does make things a little bit more, bit of a pain when you
There, got the key.
have combat and spirit
Dead man's switch.
experiences that do that. But again, superpowers come into play. The Stark suit has like the Spider Bro power.
Spider Bro.
I love. It's my favorite one. Basically, like, you have a little drone that comes out and just shocks everybody to death. And then you can kind of just sit back and watch everybody just sit on the floor twitching. That works on everybody, so I usually, if I start getting in a tight spot, that's when I use my suit power. But still, it would be cool if I could just say, okay, I'm going to use the web bomb, and then I'll zip and do this and that kind of a thing.
What in the world? What the heck?
He said there were snipers on the roof.
Oh, did he?
Mm-hmm.
What is... Predicament?
You just gotta dodge while they're in the air. There you go.
Jeez, where are these guys?
There's little red dots on the map.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so I think that covers most of my...
Spider-Man, those bombs will blow if you don't defeat
Return to the... No, these guys are literally right here.
They're on the other building,
You
I
like
think.
went too far.
There you go. That's where they are. You only have like 38 seconds.
Oh, I'm timed? What the heck? I'm trying to listen to people.
So... Let's see, yeah, do you want to talk about, it's on the wall right down there. Want to talk about some Dragon Quest XI, Joseph?
I don't know. There's not much else to say besides what I already said. It's
Can I do it in 4 seconds?
Kaboom!
Boom!
Yeah. I've already in the last episode I talked a lot about Dragon Quest, so I think we're probably good.
Okay, so something happened last week that got me super excited and makes me look super hypocritical, but I don't care. The PlayStation Classic got announced, and I immediately leaped for joy and said, "I want this now. Give me I'll take all my money, Sony." Some people were like, it's cool, especially if like you can hack it like the SNES Classic and stuff, or it'll be cool if they have these games, but if not, then it's a waste. And I'm like, I don't care what it has, I don't care what you can do with it, I'm buying it. That's like my childhood in a tiny little box. Even if I can't put more games on it, like just looking at it, like hanging it up on my wall and looking at it will make me the happiest man in the world for a few days. So they announced some games with it: Final Fantasy VII, Wild Arms 3, Tekken 2, I think, right? Or is it?
I think it was
Tekken 3 and Wild Arms 4 or something like that.
It was one of the Wild Arm games.
One of the Wild Arm games. There was a bunch of them. And then Ridge Racer were announced. It says it comes with 20 games preloaded.
They legit didn't notice me.
Just a hunch.
Alright.
There might be a
Oh, there he is.
So the biggest thing that I noticed is that the internet was super divided on it. Some people were like, "Oh, Sony's copying Nintendo again," and some people were like, "Oh my gosh, they love it," like me. What do you guys thought? What are your guys' thoughts on it?
Most of the games that are on it, like it'll depend a lot on what games are on it if I want to spend money on it. And the fact that it isn't using the DualShock controllers is pretty disappointing. But I don't know. I got used to playing with an analog stick, and but since the I think the controllers are USB, so you can just. Pretty sure you'll probably be able to plug your PlayStation 4 controller into it. So that's not too big of a deal. Just slowly kick him off the edge. So I think what'll get me to buy it is, honestly, if they just put Legend of Dragoon in it, it might be an insta-buy.
Yeah, I think like a lot of people are saying that.
Like, depending on the games, and for me, the game that I want the most on that is Legend of Dragoon. Because that's one of those games that I never beat, and I don't really have a way to play it anymore. And I would really like to be able to play it and re-experience it. It was too hard for me to beat as a kid, because I was dumb. I like got all the way to the last boss and just could not beat the last boss. And I'd probably be able to do that now if I got another chance to play it. So that's the number one game that I want. I think another cool game would be Tactics, Final Fantasy Tactics. Like, I've already got Final Fantasy 9 and 7 like 100 different times. So I don't. I'm gonna get them again on the Switch, so I don't need them again on the PlayStation Classic.
I don't know if they'll include more Final Fantasy games. It's like if they include all 3 Crash games and all 3 Spyro games.
I don't know, because those just got remastered, so I don't know if we need those. Just like I don't think we need Final Fantasy 9 or even 7, but it'd be kind of foolish of them not to put 7 in.
There would be people that would be like, "What are you doing, Sony, if it wasn't on there?"
Yeah. But I think I would really like Final Fantasy Tactics on there. And I don't know, maybe Mega Man X4, even though that just came out on the Legacy Collection, I think it'd be fun to play on a PlayStation again. That was like the first game we had on the PlayStation was Mega Man X4.
Yep.
Maybe Need for Speed, that'd be pretty cool.
So there's a couple games, like I said, that a lot of people are going to say they need to be on there for them to buy it. Just like Joseph said, some games that I do think that do need to be on it. Metal Gear Solid.
Oh, definitely. Why did I think that?
It's not even a question, honestly.
I'm pretty sure it was. It is going to be on there. Hideo Kojima retweeted Sony's announcement of it. So, knowing Kojima, that's him saying, "Yep, it's on there, guys."
Just watch, it'll be the Metal Gear Solid VR missions.
Probably that game, yeah. That would be hilarious. Because Konami sucks. They would pull something like that. I do think like maybe one or two, like Spyro 1 and Crash 1, Tomb Raider.
Oh yeah.
Tony Hawk 2.
Yes.
That one, I think, is one of the best PlayStation 1 selling games on the console, if I remember correctly. So, I'm pretty sure that either has to be on there or they're going to put it on there. There's one other one that came to mind that what's it called? Squaresoft game, Vagrant Story. I think there's going to be a lot of Squaresoft games on that thing, not just Final Fantasy VII. There's going to be like a bunch of random different JRPGs that they released. Because, I mean, like honestly, you could make a PlayStation Classic that has 50 JRPGs on it, and they would still not fit all the best JRPGs on that system. Because that PlayStation 1 was a JRPG machine. Like,
towards the story.
Well,
Oh, what's that? Oh, it's like right there. Okay.
A lot of people like have debates on whether the best, like the system with the best JRPGs was either the Super Nintendo or the PS1. And I think there's definitely arguments for both. But yeah. Anyways.
Like, honestly, I think you should, like, people just need to... Oh, this is so scary. Stop aiming your guns at me.
Snipers everywhere!
Like, if you, like, Google best SNES games or best NES games, like, those are the ones that are on the Classic. So, I don't know, I think that's probably all you need to do, is just be like... Just look it up, and those are probably the games that's going to be in there.
And the funny thing is that, like, because Sony gave so much grief, not Sony, because Nintendo was Nintendo and decided to make the NES and SNES Classic, like, super rare when they first released them, I kind of I really wanted to buy one, but I couldn't find them. And I wasn't going to pay $200-$300 for an NES or SNES Classic. So I said, you know what, Nintendo, I'm just going to build my own. So I built a RetroPie with the Raspberry Pi 3, and it can play PS1 games on there. But I still plan on getting the PlayStation Classic, even though I already have a PS1 emulation machine. It just kind of shows how much of a Sony fanboy I am. They could literally do everything wrong with this thing and I will still buy it. So that just gives you a little peek into my hypocritical bias of Sony, so yeah.
Yeah, like, I think Nintendo's learned from their mistakes, because I can't go to a Walmart or a Best Buy without seeing, like, the NES and SNES Classic.
They've definitely kind of realized that they could make money if there was just more available. Because when it first came out, when the NES Classic first launched, it was the best-selling console that month. It beat, like, PS4, Xbox One X, and everything. And I think PS4, like, had one of the, like, Horizon Zero Dawn launch around that time or something. So there was a reason why people were going to be buying a PS4, and it still outsold it. So I think Nintendo has finally come around to saying maybe our idea is good. I can see...
Maybe people like this.
I can see why Nintendo does do the whole rarity thing with their consoles.
I think
it
it's
creates
also...
demand. It creates, a thing where people see it and they will buy it just because it's there and they see it. And I think it definitely helped the Wii be as successful as it is, because it was so rare, so people were all like, we need to have this, and but at the same time, like, you could make so much more money if you just give people what they want. And
I think they were
wanted it.
probably really cautious because the Wii U did so terribly. So they're like, well, maybe people just don't like our stuff anymore, and they just didn't make enough. And they're like, oh, people like us from 30 years ago. We should. So yeah, that's yeah.
So let's see. Staying on Sony for a little bit. Sony this week announced that they're finally allowing crossplay on PS4 with select third-party titles, so aka Fortnite.
Yeah.
This is something that I've been wanting to try to talk about, but I keep forgetting. It had the internet up in a roar every time Sony would say, no, we're not going to allow it, for, reasons that Sony does. They're still, even though they've gotten a lot better, they're still a Japanese-based company, and being a Japanese-based company, they have policy stuff that's super traditional, and like they don't like to break tradition. It takes like a huge thing for them to say, okay, we need to break this tradition. And the whole thing of crossplay was one of those things that I can guarantee either stockholders or like the main ups in Sony Japan were like, no, we can't do this. It's not good for business. We need to give people reasons to buy our console, to play our console, not say if you want to play this game you can buy it anywhere else and play it with us. The main reason they stated that it happened was big policy changes, not like a technical update, not a thing that's holding us back. It was policy changes. So these whip guys are what I was talking about earlier. You can't hit them unless like you just dodge, and then
What?
they just like they do freak out. Like it's so hard. You have to do that to get a attack in on them. It's a little frustrating to that point. But anyways, I just because I'm a Sony fanboy doesn't mean I don't think they do things perfect. I do think that them holding back crossplay was definitely going to be something that they regretted. And they finally kind of caved in because Fortnite is Fortnite and it's the biggest game in the entire universe. And it kind of just shows just how big Fortnite is that it was able to say, you know what, Sony like had to cave in to what they want to get it, to get, good PR and everything with the fan base. I've noticed that the video game industry goes in cycles and history repeats itself a lot in it. We had the PS3, when the PS3 and Xbox 360 first came into being a thing, like when they were announced, Sony was on top of the world. The PS2 was the best-selling console ever made. They felt like, you know what, we can do it. We can do anything. We can do whatever we want, and people will do it. And then they announced the PS3 at $600 and had all these things. And Sony said, you'll get 2 jobs to pay for our console. And people hated them, and they did not do well at all for the first 3 years of the PS3's life cycle. Xbox 360 did very well. It became the PS3 caught up at the end, and I still haven't. I don't think I really care to see who actually sold more at the end of that generation. But because Xbox did so well with the 360, they came in this quarter and said, you know what? We are, they were on top of the world. They said, we're going to launch a $600. I don't think it's $600. It's $500. We're going to launch a $500 console that's TV, and you're going to like it anyways, no matter what we do. We're going to I mean, they were so confident that they, blocked used games and said, you know what, deal with it. If you want to play used games, buy our Xbox 360. That's where you can get them. And stuff like that. And then everybody hated them. They're like, no, screw you. And that's when Sony came back and they were on top. And they've been dominating this generation. And it's so big of a domination that I think that they have gotten a little high-headed. PS3 caught up with Xbox 360. They were pretty much tied at the end of the console generation. Maybe PS3 came on top, maybe 360 came on top at the end, but who knows. But,
There's Cameron.
they... Maybe it disabled it because you got all the landmarks.
I think I have one more. Yeah, right there.
But anyways... So, I think Sony has kind of gotten back in that headspace of we're the best, you're going to like us no matter what we do. And they've kind of seen like, oh wait, we need to calm down. Because a lot of people said, you know what, I'm just going to start playing on Xbox because they allow me to cross-play with my friends on Fortnite. And like a lot of big PlayStation people started saying that, like... some people may not know him, but Greg Miller is a huge PlayStation person. He did Podcast Beyond. He's doing his own thing right now with Kind of Funny, and he's one of PlayStation's biggest influencers, you would say. Like, they go to him if they want to get like a PlayStation game, get a new PlayStation game to get hype going. He literally sent out a tweet to Sony saying, if you don't get crossplay going, I'm just going to play Fortnite on Xbox and deactivate my account and do all this stuff because it's stupid that you guys aren't. And he wasn't the only person. So I think it was a bit of a humbling moment for Sony, but we'll see if it really does change their views on it because they said select third-party titles, so who knows what else will happen. But if there'll be another game that allows crossplay, but yeah. You guys have any opinions you want to add about that?
I can finally play Fortnite on my Switch!
Hooray!
Not that I played Fortnite once with my brother on PS4, and then they announced, if you played on PS4, your account's locked to the PS4. I was like,
I guess I can't play it anymore.
I guess I'm not gonna play. But, I mean, Fortnite's not really my thing, so that never bothered me.
It was fun the one time I played it, so I guess I can see the appeal.
But I did think it was really crappy of them to lock people's accounts without, like, giving them forewarning. Like, if you do this, you're not going to be able to play on anything else without making a new account.
Yeah.
That was pretty crummy, and they fixed that now. There's ways you can... like, they had to do a special thing to fix it, and I don't see myself playing Fortnite anymore anyway, so I don't really care, but I think it's good that they've fixed that. I think that goon just shot his buddy, like, 6 times.
Yeah, you can get them to do that.
I hate these not motorcycle, I hate these bazooka guys.
Yeah. So, let's see. The new Dragon Ball FighterZ DLC came out. Jacob's been playing a little bit. It's like barely came out yesterday, so we don't have too much to say about it. But it's pretty.
I'm gonna freaking. That's the cops.
Yeah, they will hit you with their stuff.
Freaking stop! Like literally, I'm beating the guys up and you're shooting me.
Anyways, so yeah, Android 17 and Cooler came out. Do you want to talk a little bit about that, Jacob? I haven't played them yet. I do want to pick them up and play with them a little bit, but in fighters, I am very much these are my main guys, and I don't like to play around because I'm still learning fighting games, and to try to pick up another character and learn their ways, like, basically impedes everything that I've been trying to learn with the 3 characters that I do main. So, like, I'm sure that I will pick them up and play them in, like, a party-style mode or something, but, yeah. Do you want to You have anything to say about him?
ADHD moment, but how long do you think it would take to run all of New York in this game? Yeah, like no swinging, just like run.
Probably like 10 or 20 minutes.
Okay, yeah.
Here, I want to play a little bit. You can talk about fighters. My turn!
Since school got started, it's been a struggle to play fighters. Especially since I got Spider-Man, I started playing that.
You need a suit.
And I also started playing some other games, but fighters has kind of been on the back burner for a little bit. But, you know, now 17 and Cooler are out. And I've been playing a lot of 17 today, since they came out today. But I played, like, he's just so fun. Like, I'm still trying to, like, reorganize my team. Like, I used to play Gotenks, Vegeta, and Tien. Like, that was my team day one. And I want to switch out Tien because I think, even though I like his character, he's a little boring to play. He has, like, he's really good at, like, what he does, but he only has those things, you know? Like, it's kind of boring doing the same things over and over again. But then again, I'm not super great at fighting games, so maybe...
You're a lot better than most of us. Oh, there we go. That's how you do it.
So, I also got rid of Gotenks because, like, Team Gohan is my favorite. And so I got him and Vegeta. But then 17 came out, and I, like, really want him on my team now.
Oh, Splat Cat. Let's do this.
Alicia's close to her goal.
And, like, I've just been... And Vegeta, like, works with everybody, right? Because his assist is freaking broken. But, like, I've been finding a lot of things out with him and Vegeta. And... like, I don't know, like, people say he doesn't have that much... It takes me freaking 5 minutes to find those things, dude, and you found it in 2 seconds.
Getting creative.
Gotta use a controller vibration.
One more at a
Dude, I try. Let's see. I haven't played Cooler that much. I'm not, like, super big into big guys. Like, I wanted to play as Broly, but... I also wanted to play as Hagar and Hulk in Marvel 3, and then I ended up dropping him because I just don't find them fun. 17 is really fun because he's more like a rushdown. His combos last a long time. And I kind of like picked up Dante and Firebrand because of it. And I had some... Anyway. I'm still trying to find someone to complement 17 and Vegeta, because Teen Gohan definitely doesn't. Like, Android 17 is definitely a point character, because his assist is a little weird, like 18's, except his is better because it has a projectile. Like, I don't really... not a projectile, a beam or whatever, but... So, anyway, they're cool, and... a lot of people have been finding a lot of cool things with, like, Cooler and 17, but people have been saying that Cooler has more combo potential, but 17 is definitely top tier. He's like a mix-up maniac. I've been, like, doing a few things with him, and... that is, until I get online and get my butt kicked. Like I said, it's been, like, 3 weeks since I've been playing, so people have been, like, kicking my butt. And it's frustrating because that's like a game that you get mad at. Like, kind of like what Johnny said about this game. Like, oh, I swear I freaking dodged or whatever. Like, I freaking swear so many times in fighters you're blocking. And then it just says, no, you're not blocking. And then just ends up, like, getting hit. Like, I swear, like, if you are 1 degree off of blocking, you're not blocking anymore. Anyway. I don't even know what I was saying, but...
Let's see, we got some upgrades.
You
have so many tokens and I'm just going to use everything.
No, this is my game.
I'm just kidding.
But have you, like, noticed that? I know that Joseph hasn't been playing a lot, but, like, when you're playing Dragon Ball and you're, like... You know you do something and freaking... doesn't do it. I don't know.
It's probably because you're using the control stick.
I use the D-pad.
Oh, never mind.
I do experience that, but sometimes I feel like it's just because I don't really know actually anything about fighting games. But there's been plenty of times where I'm like, no, I know that should not have happened. There was one time where I literally, like, watched my 2H, like, just whiff. Well, while they were air dashing, like, they air dashed at me, and I saw that my 2H, it was Vegeta Blues too. So, like, I know that animation and what the attack looks like, and his attack was in his face. It was like an Android 16 player. It was in his face, but it still didn't land. He got off with using the super dash, so, like, I was like, why?
Dude, top players are just gonna call us scrubs now. Like, the people who are Majin rank and whatever.
Yeah, they added, like, new ranks. You can be, like, Xeno rank now.
Yeah, I think they, like, kind of adjusted it for that. It's like, I don't think Living Legends is there anymore. Or maybe I'm wrong, but, like, people are saying, like, yeah, if you're Super Saiyan 3 rank, you're, like, the new Super Saiyan 2. Like...
Probably. And I'm only at, like, I've gotten to, like, Android, but that's about it. I don't think I could ever get to Super Saiyan 2 rank.
But, like, well, you probably could now, because people are, like, suddenly saying, like, yeah, I'm climbing the rankings, like, so fast now. Like, they readjusted it. So...
This is the best suit. It looks so good. Okay.
I like the skull one.
And they also add a free new stage, like you don't have to buy it.
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
And then new colors and new avatars for Halloween.
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
So almost immediately, people who were playing with Sonic Fox screenshotted his avatar because it was the Wolf Goku avatar.
Let's see.
Yeah, they also added some cool local player features, like, when you're local, now you can do, like, 1v1 and 2v2, and you can also pick, like, any amount of number, like, you can just do 1v1
Come at me,
versus
boys.
a 2v2 or a 3v, I mean, a 2 versus 1 game, which I think is pretty nice, but... Yes.
Okay, so... Okay. I'm gonna wait till there's a bunch of guys and show you the best power in the entire game. Right here. Watch this.
Like, I'm waiting.
They all just get shocked and lay on the ground. And it will attack anybody in the vicinity.
Oh, geez.
It's like I can literally just sit here and everybody will just die.
I'm pretty sure I've only done like 30% of the story, so I'm kind of like bummed out that I'm almost done with all the collectibles for now.
They do more. You get the challenge ones. Okay, so there was a Nintendo Direct recently. You guys want to talk about that? They finally did it after the hurricane and stuff.
Yeah, it's been a couple weeks, hasn't it? I'm just like, haven't we ever already talked about that? No, I guess not.
We talked about how it was delayed, and then we haven't had one of these since the delay. So it was I thought it was a pretty good Direct. It depends on what game you were hoping for, is what you thought about the Direct, of course. But, you know, it started with Luigi's Mansion 3, and that's really exciting. I'm excited for Luigi's Mansion. And then we already talked about, I already mentioned that a lot of Final Fantasy games are coming to the Switch. That's where it was announced. The Smash news was that Isabelle is coming to Smash, and so many Animal Crossing fans just like had their hearts broken when they saw that, because they thought that they were seeing an announcement for Animal Crossing Switch. And then they just had to wait an extra minute, and then it was Animal Crossing on Switch.
Dude, that was such a tease. Like, I don't really care about Animal Crossing. I think it's fun. But when Tom Nook showed up, I'm just like, oh my gosh! Tom Nook is in Smash! Yeah. That used to be like a meme back in like 2007 when Brawl was like coming out.
Yeah,
people were just like, Tom Nook for Brawl! And I'm like, oh my gosh! And then my heart was broken, but...
Yeah, it's so that was a pretty good Direct, I thought. there was a lot there that had me excited.
Nope.
Like Katamari Damacy is coming to Switch, and oh my goodness, I miss Katamari Damacy so much. So I'm
Same.
definitely getting that. On Destructoid, I wrote a blog about the 5 games that I would buy again if it came to Switch. So, because, a lot of games that come to Switch are just ports of older games, and I was like, I'm fine with that. I will buy them again.
Oh! This is what I'm talking about. What was that?
And on my list was Okami, that came out. Katamari Damacy was... Actually, I don't think that was on my list. It was on a special mention.
Okay.
Any Final Fantasy game, and so I got like 5 of those. What was it? Hat in Time, and that was announced for Switch recently. And then my last one was Persona. And so I've gotten 4 out of 5 of my predictions.
There you are. You're dead.
And so I'm just hoping that one of these days they're going to do Direct and announce Persona 3 Complete is coming to Nintendo Switch.
Has there been any Persona games on Nintendo consoles?
Some spin-off. So Persona Q and Persona Q2 is almost out on the 3DS. In Japan. But yeah, so there's some precedent to put them on Nintendo consoles, but I think Nintendo is breaking precedent with the Switch all the time.
Such a good suit.
So yeah. But the most important thing, according to most of the internet, that Nintendo announced at that Direct was new Super Mario Bros. U Deluxe, because that introduced the Super Crown, which turns Toadette into Peachette, and the internet got this strange idea, like, well, if the Super Crown can turn Toadette into Peach, what if Bowser wears it? And
I think it's finally time to give up on the internet after
Yeah.
this Bowsette thing
If
happened.
it hasn't been apparent yet, it's definitely
Like-
time now.
Like, alright, see you guys. It's been good.
I've had enough internet for, like, the rest of my life. I'm just gonna leave.
People are gonna hate you for, like, hating on it because it's so freaking popular.
And apparently Rule 34 is very much in effect with this thing. If you don't know what the Rule 34 is, then
Then
don't
you
want to.
sweet summer child.
I think Rule 63 is like gender bending, and that's
Yeah,
what
so that's what this one did, but
that's what everyone's doing with like Boo and all of the Mario characters, like Piranha Plant and Chain Chomp.
like there was one little comic of like Peach, Mario, and Bowser going, "This is too much power. We must destroy it," and they throw it in a volcano, and the volcano
because becomes lava-ette.
yeah. I don't know. I think it's for the most part just kind of funny and harmless, but there's obviously people taking it way too far. But it's the internet, and some people think that what I think is too far is not nearly far enough.
It's interesting. It's like, whatever. Like, you always get surprised with the internet. Like, keeps you on your toes? What's gonna be the next big thing? Like, what was it last week? Like, there was
Bongo Cat!
Bongo Cat. You know, like,
Bongo
that
Cat
was,
is the most wholesome and wonderful and lovely thing to come out of the internet ever.
but like, oh man, you missed a truck.
Oh. Whoops. I was paying attention on swinging.
Anyway, like I guess there has to be something every week because I heard of Bongo Cat until this Peach-ette thing, and now that's all I hear about. But
There's still Bongo Cats out there, they just aren't Bowser, so they don't get as many retweets anymore.
Ground teams, what's the status of our position in the west?
Let's see. While Jonathan's distracted. Another just a small little thing that I think a lot of us can care about. Nobuo Uematsu recently announced that on his blog, well, first, like, there was a concert that he was supposed to make an appearance
That's
in,
my
and he
favorite thing to
couldn't.
Sorry.
And he couldn't make it to that, and then like a week later he announced on his personal website that he's gonna have to put what's the word I'm looking for? He's basically has to go on hiatus. He's ill and he can't continue working. And
I think
just,
he's like 80 something. Right?
yeah, he's
Is he?
old.
What the heck?
He's been working on Final Fantasy since the first Final Fantasy. And that came out in what, like 87?
It's celebrating its like 31st anniversary or something.
Yeah. So he's been making music for a long time. And
Screw you guys!
the day that was announced on the internet, I just saw lots of people posting their favorite Uematsu song. Like mine would probably be You're Not Alone from Final Fantasy IX. Uematsu did the main theme for Super Smash Bros. Brawl. And that's still the best main theme Super Smash Bros. Has had. And I don't know, his music, it was part of my childhood. When people asked me as a teenager, what's your favorite band? I didn't know how to answer because Uematsu's not a band. He's a composer. I was like, I like Japanese music. And then he did start a band, and I could tell people, oh yeah, my favorite band is Black Mages. And they're like, you weeb.
What?
And so, I don't know, do you guys have a favorite Uematsu song?
The entire Final Fantasy VIII soundtrack.
That's what I figured, yeah.
But more specifically, I really like the opening theme to Final Fantasy VIII.
Libari Fatali.
Yep.
That's probably not how you pronounce it.
And the variant on it at the end of the game. I like Balm Garden, the Balm Garden theme. It's one of my favorite songs to just... It's so calming and relaxing that if I'm stressed out, I can put that on and I literally can either fall asleep or just calm down and be able to relax. I also like I like the battle theme, the main battle theme for Final Fantasy VIII as well too. But really, you can look at any. One of the biggest hits he had was "Eyes on Me," and that one's really good too.
That's still popular in Japan.
Yeah.
It won awards.
But yeah, I think that you can look at any of the games he's worked on and you can pick a favorite song from that game and it'll work. Play for a little bit.
I have no idea.
Good luck. It took me like 15 to 20 minutes to figure out how everything worked. But...
So swinging, you hold on to it and it'll just kind of work, but you can let go. And that's kind of like how you gain momentum and stuff is by...
And you can like press X
X
at the
to
end of
zip.
the swing to jump. Yeah.
You zip and it keeps your altitude and... Yeah. I mean, I also really like... There was a theme that he did... There was a song in Final Fantasy X where he used like electric guitar for the first time.
I don't know. I would say like, oh, Final Fantasy VII soundtrack, but honestly I listened to that so much when I was younger that it's kind of become like I can't listen to it anymore. Like it's cool in game, but like I just can't listen to it because I'm just so familiar with it. That happens with like everything I'm obsessed with though. And I don't know if there was a list of songs by him, then I would be able to choose. But
That would be thousands of songs.
Where's the last guy at? Where is he?
What else? What other games did he do? Like,
He did like Chrono Trigger.
did he do Chrono Trigger?
I'm pretty sure. He at least did some songs in Chrono Trigger. Every Final Fantasy up until, I think, 11. Oh, that's still there. I thought that was patched out.
So I'm sure you guys have heard of this, but this Easter egg, some guy asked Insomniac if they could put this in the game so that he could propose to his girlfriend, and they broke up by the time that the game came out.
Like 3 weeks before the game came out. I think.
Yeah, that's really funny that it's still there. Anyways.
Apparently, I saw a post, someone saying, well, my girlfriend's name is Maddie, and so
I'm just going to use this.
Yeah, he used it. And so at least something good came out of it.
Anyway, I wouldn't be able... I like a lot of Final Fantasy 1 songs. I guess the main theme... like... if you do a little remix or whatever of the main theme, then I'll probably really like it. Like, no matter what it is. That's kind of like a boring answer, but...
I don't know what I just did.
You just shot a web bomb.
It's so cool that you can't take fall damage in this game. I would have died so many times.
Zipping around. You can do, anytime you see one of those little circle dots, you can tap both the triggers at the same time and he'll zip to that point, and then you can hold X and he'll launch himself.
I think if you...
Hold X. Boom! It's so cool.
Splat.
So, before I'm gonna have to leave in a minute, we'll let these guys continue, and then I might be able to come back for the end. But Sony just announced today that there's not gonna be a PlayStation experience this year. And that really bums me out. I went to the first PlayStation experience. I wasn't able to go the next 2 or 3 years since. And I was going to go this year because I would probably be able to go and get time off and use that time. But it's not happening this year. I think they kind of got a lot of flack last year because everybody kind of expects it to be E3 Part 2, even though they have like 5 conferences a year.
Like the Tokyo Game Show's basically been a Sony conference.
Basically, yeah. They kind of set themselves up for that, and I'm not going to say that they shouldn't... that I feel bad because they say the first year and the year after had so many big announcements that it kind of was like, oh, this is how they do this now. You could tell that they saved some things from E3 to put at PlayStation Experience, but I still think that they could have some sort of PlayStation Experience. Just say, hey guys, we're not going to have a conference this year. Sorry, that's a bit disappointing, but we can still come out. And like that was how I wanted to go, because I could say, okay, I can go play Sekiro Shadows Die Twice early. I was able to play Bloodborne early the year that they first started it. And I was really looking forward to doing that with Sekiro. But I'm not going to be able to now, so I think they could still have had just like a show floor experience where you can go play games early, and they had like, you know, the PlayStation Gear store where you could buy a bunch of stuff there. And the coolest thing for me about the PlayStation experience was meeting all the developers that like I've been idolizing. Like, I got to talk to Neil Druckmann for a few minutes and totally freak him out because I was a psychopath. I got to see Randy Pitchford and say, hey, I love Borderlands, and he's like, cool, dude. And I got to see like everybody that works at Naughty Dog that I follow on Twitter. There's a squirrel.
I want to web the squirrel.
You can kill it instead.
Oh! That's not going to explode. Here, let's see. You hold down L1. Let's just do web shooter.
I don't think he'll be able to do it.
It'll probably block it out. So I held L2 and it should aim it. Oh, nope. Insomniac's nice. Oh, he's got some web on him, though.
No, he's gonna die.
He's a skunk now.
May have happened to you and your girlfriend.
So, yeah. That's my 2 cents on it.
Dude, you know what I want? This kind of random. I kind of want a Switch. Like, I don't know, like, it's... Everybody's just, like, freaking in love with their Switch, man. Like, every one of my friends just, like, and by every one of my friends, I mean 2 of them, are just like, man, the Switch has never let me down. And I'm just like... Man, I just like the handheld aspect of it, man. Because, like, sometimes I don't want to sit down and look at a big TV with high-res graphics and whatever. I just want to lay on my bed and play, like, a handheld game. which is why I play mostly. A lot of my favorite games are on like DS and handhelds and whatever. But if I got a Switch, man, then I'd be able to just do anything. It's like the possibilities are limitless. Like, oh man, I want to freaking... And everything's coming out on Switch too. Like, Switch also. Like... So if I wanted to play one of my crappy visual novels, like, I could... Instead of going on the computer and playing it, which is kind of dumb sometimes, like, I can just chill on my
in
bed.
bed.
Yeah, chill on my bed and do it. Is Clannad out on Switch?
It's coming out on PS4, or is out on PS4.
Yeah, it's out on PS4.
So it will probably come out on Switch soon.
Like, that one visual novel, the Chinese one, like Gao Kao 100 Days came out, and it had overwhelmingly positive reviews on Steam. Let's just go up again. It had overwhelming positive reviews on Steam, and I downloaded it, and it's just like the most poorly translated thing in the world. Like, so when it was like, hey, it's on Switch, I'm like, oh, did they fix the translation? And I guess not. Like, I guess people still really like it. Maybe I'm missing something, but... Alright, now you gotta jump, and yeah, there we go. 2 experience, 6 experience!
Well, I guess it doesn't always work.
Yeah. I think it's funny how a lot of visual novels are coming on Switch now, like the Neko one. Like, and it's all censored now, and people are kind of like... I don't think they're mad, they're just like, oh, okay, whatever, but I kind of want to get it just so I can be like, haha, I played the censored version. Honestly, I honestly just want to play Undertale, like, with you guys, because I think it's a good game.
And you can get it on the Switch!
Yeah. Dude, that's making me nauseous. Yeah, like, I don't know. Like, I keep thinking about it because the music was so good. Like, I don't know. I just think it's a really good game, despite not thinking it's a masterpiece like people say it is, but... I don't know, I think it would be fun. Well, thanks for tuning in to our little podcast. Tell us what we can do better so that we can do those things. And yeah, man, just until next time, see you later.
Bye!